the location of the respective points PC, PD, QC, QD, PB and QB has been discussed in the last video lecture. Now we will discuss how to project this 8 number of parts. So for again point number 1 location into the top view, we have to follow the cutting plane method. So one lies on this reference line. This reference line we have to consider it as a cutting plane. And for this point number 1 location, take this distance from this axis of the cone to this end generator into your compass. Okay, then follow this point 1's projector. So here it is point number 1. This is the back projector. On this projector with center O and radius equal to from this axis of cone to this end generator distance, you have to cut the arc. So you will for locating this point number 1 into the top view, see, I have to consider the distance equal to this because 1 is lying on this reference line. I treat this reference line as a cutting plane which is parallel to base of the cone. Now the distance is from this axis to this end generator. This axis to end generator distance by taking into compass and just plotting it over the reference of this one projector which is projected backwards. So this is the line. This is the line where this one projector is being projected backwards. Now with center O and equal to that radius, I need to cut it here. So here also I will get point number 1. In the similar way, I will get to this side also point number 1. So 1 is on the front, 1 dash you may call it here also, that is on the back. So this is the procedure for point number 1. Again for point number 2, this is point number 2. Okay, I need to consider the distance. Okay, now for this point number 2, if we refer to this side view, immediately you will come to know that point number O is out of the position of the cone. So point number 2 will not have any kind of reference into the top. So purposely we have to omit this point number 2. The same case is with this point number 3. It is beyond the surface of this cone, that is outside. So we don't consider this particular point number 3. Okay, QB already we have considered. Now the number is point number 4. Again, this point number 4, consider this as a reference line. Then we have to take the distance. Distance is from axis of cone to this end generator. So remember, this is the distance which is in between what? This axis of the cone and the end generator on this 4 points reference line. This distance I will project it to this 4 points projector which is projected backwards. Again, what will be the center? Center is O. Center is O on the line which is projected from this point number 4. You have to cut the arc here. So this 4 will be here and 4 dash of 4. I have mentioned it 4. You can mention 4 dash also. This is here. So likewise 4 and 4 dash will be plotted. Okay. For getting this intersecting point number 4 to be projected in the top view. Remember, point number 4 is the intersecting surface of the cylinder with the cone. Okay. Now, you have to project this point number 4 backward. And on this projector, see, when you think of projecting the intersecting surface, you forget about this particular all other number of parts of the cylinder. You simply focus on this point number 4. Okay. Now, point number 4 is a common point of interference between cone and the cylinder. Now, when I am projecting this point number 4 into the top view, okay, I need to consider this reference point number 4 because we are following the cutting plane method. Means we are imagining that from this point number 4, our cutting plane is cutting like this by making parallel line to this base of the cone. Okay. So when it cuts to this surface, what happens? Ultimately, you are going to get one intersecting surface to either side as well as to the back side. This never is a single 4 point. It's a 4 and 4 dash. Okay. So likewise, whenever it will pass from this point 6 also, you are going to get 2 reference points. One is 6 and another is 6 dash. Okay. So while projecting these 4 points reference into the top view with the help of backward projector, I suggested you to consider the distance from this axis of the cone to end generator because I already told you that don't think over or don't focus over the other parts of the cylinder, because we are plotting a single point in the form of a 4. Rest of points are of no consideration till just now. Okay. Now, so what distance I need to consider? The distance is in between the axis of the cone to the end generator of the cone. This distance we have to consider, and this distance with this center O, because this is the axis of the cone. In the top view, the axis of cone is in the form of point. So this is the axis of the cone. From this axis of the cone, just you have to cut the arc to this 4 projected point backwards. So this is 4, and here you are going to get 4. So likewise you have to think over it. Okay. Same way for this point 5, only focus on point number 5. Forget about rest of the points or divisions of the circle. So for point 5, consider the distance from this axis of the cone to the generator. This distance by taking into compass, follow this back projection from this point number 5 to this line. This is the line, and from to this line from center O equal to this radius you are going to cut. So this you are going to get here as a point number 5, and similarly here as a point number 5 dash. So 2 points. One is on either this side and another is on back side. So this is the way in which you can plot point number 5. For point number 6, again, what distance you have to consider? Distance from the axis of the cone to the generator. So this distance you need to plot to this projector, which is projected backwards from this point number 6. So this is the projector which is projected backward. This is the line. On this line, that distance with center O, you need to cut it here. So you are going to get this point as a 6. Here you are going to get 6 dash. 6 is on front, 6 dash is on the back. Similarly, for point number 7, consider the distance between the axis of the cone to this end generator. Okay, don't think on other divisions of the circle, only with this axis to this end generator distance. You have to plot this distance to this point number 7 projected backward. This is the projector 7 backwards. O center, that radius, cut it here to this 7 line. So we are going to get 7 and 7 dash over here. This is the procedure for point number 7. For point 8, again for point 8, distance is in between axis of cone to this end generator. You need to project this distance on the projector which is projected backwards from this 8 line. Here the generator, the line is, reference line is 8. So this to this line with center O, you are going to cut it as a point 8. This is a point 8 dash. So likewise you are going to point 8 point reference into the top. So when you join all those points, how to join? You have to join it here from PB to 1. You have to join. Just PB is here, PB to 1. Just join it with the help of thin line. Then afterwards we can apply the visibility concept. So PB to 1. Okay, PB to 1, then 1 to 8. No doubt 1 to 8 it has gone over here. Then from 8 to 7, 8 to 7, then 7 to 6, then 7 to 6 it is what? 6 to again QC. QC. So 6 to QC is here. Then QC to 5, it is QC to 5. Then 5 to 4, 5 to 4, and again 4 to QB. So 4 to QB. Okay. Now here it is a cut portion. Again, you have to come back. So from QB, you have to come to 4. QB to 4. Okay. So QB to 4. So you have come over here. QB, no? This is QB. So this is QB to 4. Okay. QB to 4. 4 to 5. Okay. 4 to 5. That is. Then 5 to what point? QC. QD. So 5 to QD. You will get here. QD to 5. Sorry, 6. QD to 6. 6 to 7. 6 to 7. And 7 to 8. 7 to 8. And last is 8 to PD. So this 8 to PD and PD to point number 1. PD to point number 1. This is point number 1. And 1 to PB. So this is 1 to PB. So in this way you have to join the points. And for visibility, okay, for visibility we need to consider the positions of. Okay, this way we are joined just with the help of very thin lines, the top view. The sequence of joining the point is like this: PP to 1, 1 to PC, PC to 8, then 8 to 7, 7 to 6, 6 to QC, QC to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to QB. again coming back, QB to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to QB, QB to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to PD, then to 1, then to PB. So this is the way in which we have. Okay. Now we have just drawn the skeleton in the form of joining it with the help of thin lines in the top view. Now the point of interest is to draw the complete the front view. Okay. So front view already I have discussed of the cone in the form of triangle and the front view in the form of a rectangle of that cylinder. Now the point is to project these intersecting points into the front view. So whatever the points which we have drawn here over here, all those points, cutting points, we call it as intersecting points, we need to project it upwards. So from these all points, I may consider this as a point number 1. So this is a point number 1 in the top view. See, this is the projector which you have drawn it from the top. So one projector will be drawn upwards. Similarly, one locus will be taken as a reference in the form of from the side view. So wherever those two lines, one is from this top view projector and one is the locus from the side view. Wherever it will intersect, this is the intersecting point. That point is number 1. Same procedure we need to follow. From 1, if I consider PB, so this is the PB. Okay. So PB's line I have focused over here. I will get the point here, somewhere here. I have got this PB. This is PB. So this PB projector I will project it upwards to this line, and the horizontal locus of PB is lying with this line. See, this is the second line, no, from the top. So here, this second line and the line which is coming from this axis, because this PB is lying on this reference. So here I may get this as a PB. So one is on the top line, PB is just below line. Okay. Then point number 2. So point number 2, where I have got over here. Okay, PB's projection is being drawn in the front view. Now the next point is QB, because 2 and 3 are out of the figure. Okay, so this point is QB. So here is QB. Project it upwards. Vertical line from QB, horizontal line from QB. Vertical and horizontal line will intersect over here. QB intersecting point you will go get over here. The next is point number 4. This is point number 4 in the top view. Project it upwards. This is the projector from point number 4, and the locus from the point number 4 in the side view is this. So you will get intersecting point 4 here. Similarly, 5 you project it from side view, 5 and 5 from the top view. So this is point number 5 or this is point number 5. You project it upward. You are going to get 5 here and almost the second part of 5, that is on the back side. 5 dash we call it as 5 here somewhere. Likewise, 4 to 4 dash, 5 to 5 dash you are going to get over here. Similarly, QC, QD you can plot here. QC here you are going to get, QD here you are going to get 6 reference, you are going to get here 6. This is 6 dash. From this 7 you are going to get this as a 7, this as a 7 dash, 8 and this as a 8 dash. Okay, for completion. Okay, once you get this reference point in the top, front view, we need to join them. For again joining, you have to take the reference of this. We are starting from this point. You are starting from PB to 1. So here find out where is the point number PB. Yes, PB to 1. See, we are going to join it with the help of freehand because these are the curved surfaces. Okay. So PB to 1. Then from 1 to 8. So from 1 to okay. Now, in order to join these points, we have started to take a reference from side view from this point PB to 1. So we have joined this PB to 1. So one question may arise in your mind that no doubt we need to join this PB point to point number 1. But why it is being joined by forming a loop? That may definitely, that problem definitely will think over. Okay. Now the thing here is that in order to exactly locate the loop of this curve, you may consider the point between 1 and B as a reference point over here. You can project this reference point into the top view. You can get the reference in the top view and then again you can project it into the front view. That means in between PB and 1, you may take any number of references to get the loop of the curve to be taken into the correct form. But for my drawing, as I am drawing it on the blackboard, already so many points I have considered. The projections are bit drawn. Now, if I consider one more or two more points over here, the figure will be too much complicated and it will be very difficult for me to explain it. So, either by practice, you have to consider the loop of the curve, or simply if the space or drawing permits you to take a reference point, you can take that reference point, you can get it projected into the top view, or you can project it in the front view and you can join it. The thing is that you have to join it with the help of freehand. Okay, PB to 1 is been over. Then from 1 to PC, so this 1 to PC, you have to join. Again, the same question may arise into your mind that why it is being joined. PB to 1 it is like this, and from 1 to PC it is again taking the shape like this. So, in order to avoid this confusion, you can take the reference point between 1 and PC here somewhere. You can project it and you can draw it accordingly. So, 1 to PC is been over, then from PC to 8 point, so PC to 8 I have joined, 8 to 7, then 7 to 6 it is there, then 6 to QC it is there, 6 to QC, QC to 5 it is there. See, this is point number 5, this is point number QC. Then from 5 to again it is 4. Okay, and 4 to again it is point number Q. So this is Q. So this is the curve which is on one side. And the another curve is exactly at the back of this. Okay. So once I reach to this point, I need. Okay. So in the side view, by taking the reference, or we are starting by joining the journey of joining the point from PB, we are reached over to this point number QB. Okay. So simply by taking the reference into the side view, you can join the points. But for better understanding, you can now observe this top view. This is the direction of observer in the top view, and this is the axis of symmetry of the solid. Okay. So if I start my journey of joining the points from PB to 1 to 8 to 7, you may take the reference PB to 1 to 8 to 7, 7 to 6, 6 to QC, then to point number 5, 4, then last is QB. Almost half portion of the curve is been completed. So, no doubt you can join it by taking the reference from the side, but for better understanding, it is better to visualize it with this position in the top view. So, half portion we have completed. For joining another half, that is remaining half which is at the back of this particular solid surface. So again we need to go back. So this QB to 4. So T QB to 4. Okay. So similarly here from QB to 4. This is QB to this point number 4 you have to join. So this is QB to 4. Okay. Axis of symmetry in the top view, which is been known to you now. The curve which we have joined on the right hand side of this axis of symmetry, same kind of curve will be replicable in the left side. Okay. No doubt you can take the reference in the form of points and you can join. But it is now clear that the object is symmetric with this axis. Means whatever the type of curve or shape which you obtained on this side, same kind is going to repeat over here. The same thing is applicable over here. From this PB to 1 PC, this curve we have already traced out. Same curve can be traced out to the remaining part of this front view, because these objects are symmetric. Okay. So likewise, once we have joined PB to 1 to PC, like now PB to 1 to PD, in the same way you can complete this curve. So this way we have joined the intersecting surfaces points with the help of very thin lines. Now this particular thing is been ready to you. Now we will apply visibility. Okay, for applying visibility, we are observing this object from this side, this direction. When an observer observes this object from this direction, obviously PB will be visible. That means PB to 1 is clear-cut visible. So from PB to 1, I will join it with the help of continuous line, PB to 1. Okay. Now, see, from point 1, now the number is PC. See, PC is below point 1. When an observer observes this from this direction, PC's reference is below the point number 1. By simply observing this position, we may conclude that PC is not visible because 1 is already on the higher reference. So obviously 1 to PC will come in the form of dotted line. But here, if I consider this dotted line, what will happen? See, this is the topmost portion of the pole which is already visible, and that is appearing in the form of continuous line. Okay, so this part of the cone, which is apex of the cone, which is visible, that is in continuous form, and this part PB from 1, PB to 1, this is visible, that is in continuous form. So definitely this dotted, though it seems to be dotted, will never appear as a dotted because this is continuous line, this is continuous line. So the continuous surface will be continued and it will join up to this point. Same thing will happen to this point number 1 onto the back side because this is not visible. So naturally we will think that it comes out to be dotted. But this is visible. This is continuous because this is visible. And for this also, if it is not dotted, but it may appear as a continuous because the apex of the cone is visible. So this way, this overall, त्याला आपण असं बोलूया की त्याचा टॉप पोर्शन म्हणजे त्याची टोपी ती काय आहे आपल्याला visible. Okay. Now we have come to this point number PD. Of course, now from this PD to 8, it is not visible. So PD to 8 is dotted. Similarly here it is dotted. 8 to 7 is not visible. So 8 to 7 comes out to be dotted. Here also it comes out to be dotted. 7 to 6 is not visible. 7 to 6 comes out to be dotted. 7 to 6 comes out to be dotted. 6 to QC and QD. So this is 6. 6 to QC. And here from it is to QD, that is not visible. QD to 5, again it is not visible. QD to 5. See, this is point number QC, this is point number 5. Here it is dotted, here is dotted. Then, now 5 to 4 is visible because observing from this side. 5 to 4, so this point 5, this is 4. This is 5 to 4 is visible. 4 to QB is visible. 4 to QB is visible. Similarly, we will replicate over here, this all will be visible. Okay. Now, this portion between 1 to 1 dash, it is penetrated portion, obviously not visible. So, this whole portion inside the cone, that is dotted. Same thing will happen to this bottom side from 5 to 5 dash. It is not visible because it is a penetrated portion, and the rest of the cone position is visible. So, that is totally visible. Okay, this is visibility of the intersecting points. Then cone visibility also has been drawn. Now the part of the second object solid is remained is a cylinder, which is outside of the cone is visible. I may have to take this as a continuous line. So this is the reference of this cylinder in the front. Okay, what is the axis of the cylinder? This is the axis of it. I will show it as an axis so that we can better visual. Okay, axis of cone. Okay, now. Similar way, you have to follow this for this topic. This is the axis of the cone. Okay. Then top view of cone is in the form of a circle that is clearly visible. Similar visibility concept if you apply to the top view for the portion of the cone portion will be visible outside of this cylinder from this surface to this surface. Again, here over the cylinder ends, so it will take in the form of continuous line. Sorry, it will limit up to here. Okay, and for cylinder now, the cylinder will be visible up to this point number 7. Because it has been penetrated. From this 7 to this 7 dash, again the surface will be visible. Then this is the limiting edge of the cylinder, one limiting edge up to this surface of the cone. Then from this surface of the cone to this limiting edge, it is visible. So obviously, the portion of the cone which is being penetrated will be seen in the form of dotted line because it is not visible. And the intersecting surfaces point. Okay, what will happen to those points? From this, as we are observing it from the top, everything will be visible because person is on the top of this object. So from this 7 to 6 to this QC to this point number 4 to QB to this point again 4 to QD. Now we will apply the visibility for the top view. For applying visibility in the top view, you have to imagine that the observer is somewhere here, sitting over the top of this object and is looking the object from the top. Now first we will think of the cylinder. Of course the portion which is outside the surface of the cone will be clear cut visible. So cylinder will be visible in this portion. And again if you refer to this point, this part is visible to the observer when it observes from the top. So cylinder's projection from this to point 7 to this part, it will continue and it will finish up to here. So this cylindrical portion will be visible up to this point. Now what happens? No doubt the observer is observing from the top, but for one more reference you can consider it by looking into this side. See, this edge is visible to you. This tree is visible to you. Tree is the part of the cylinder. So when you think of it, when the observer observes it from this direction and to this direction, if you for the portion of this cylinder, already we have drawn which is visible to this portion. Now the point here is that when you observe this from the top, observer may observe the side view. They take a reference of side view and he may observe it from the top. If you observe from the top, remember 3 is on the front side and 3 dash is on the back side. So 3 to 3 dash is one of the edge of the cylinder. So that is clear cut visible. Okay. So what happens from 3 to 3 dash up to here is the point 3 dash. So this is clear cut visible. But what happens? The cylinder covers this portion. The cone portion covers this portion. So up to this surface of the cone it is visible, and inside this cone it will appear. For drawing the visibility in the top view, okay, observe this position of the cylinder by considering the observer's position from the top. When the observer observes this cylinder from the top, remember that this is the surface which is not been cut or which is been outside of the surface of the cone, that is clearly visible to the observer. So that means this whole line will be visible. Okay. Now the next part is, if this point C will be in the same way as that of point 3, then it has to be continuous. But the point here is that the 7 is being cut over here. So whatever the portion in between 7 to 7 dash, that is not visible because it has been cut. It is nowhere outside the surface of the cone. It is inside the cone. So obviously this surface reference from 7 to 7 dash will appear in the form of a dotted line. Okay. So this is the overall visibility concept applicable for the cylinder. Now for the cut surface or for the intersecting surfaces, whichever cutting intersecting points inside the cylinder will not be visible for the observer. So obviously from this 7 to again to this 7 dash, it is not visible because it is just accommodated inside the cylinder. So this joining intersecting points will appear in the form of a dotted line. So this is the visibility applicable for the intersecting points of the cone and the cylinder. Okay. So friends, you might have understood how we have drawn the intersecting surfaces points projection respectively in the top view or as well as in the front view. Okay. Now better understanding of this visibility concept. Okay. We will now consider that same problem we will consider, but we will bit modify it. Okay. What is the modification? Instead of considering the two solids, we will consider one solid only. That is, cone is standing vertically. Okay. And instead of this penetration of horizontal cylinder, we will think that the cone surface is being drilled. Cone surface is being drilled with a drill of diameter equal to 50. So obviously there will not be any kind of change in the side view because front view will be side view hole will be visible in the form of triangle and drilled hole reference will be available in the form of a circle. Okay. Now changes we have to make into the front view and into the top. Obviously the second solid that is cylinder is not available. That means this extruded portion of cylinder out of the surface of the cone will not be visible. So obviously nowhere there is existence of this portion. Got it? Okay. In the top view, what is the portion of cylinder we have drawn? This is the portion of cylinder, but now we are considering the case of drain hole only, not of cylinder. So this obviously will not be there. Now it's a case of penetration of a hole inside. Okay. So this okay. So the reference of this drilled hole will be present in the top view in the form of dotted line. Okay. So this is the limiting edge of that hole. So this whole portion will come out in the form of a dotted line. So this is dotted. Throughout dotted. This is throughout dotted because hole is being drilled through. Similarly, the another limiting surface is that side. So from this to this, it will appear in the form of a dotted line. Okay. Now, what will happen to this portion in the front view and in the top view? Okay. So, when the drill is being drilled through the surface of the cone, the reference of intersecting surface points, which was not visible previously, because this has been covered by the extruded portion of the cylinder, is now been open to the observer. So that means this dotted will be converting into the continuous line. Again, this dotted portion is been going to convert into the continuous line. Okay. So this way the front view will complete, and in the top view, whichever portion was being drawn with dotted lines because it was not visible for an observer because it is inside the extruded portion of the cylinder. Now the cylinder is being replaced by the drilled hole. So that means this overall dotted line is now visible. So that will be converted again into the continuous lines. So this is the reference of this intersecting points, and that will be seen in the form of a continuous line. Okay. Then what happens? Okay. So this half portion which was previously dotted in case of example of a penetration of cylinder inside the cone was been now covered with the continuous line because cylinder we have cancelled it by considering only a drilled hole. Okay. So this was coming out in the form of a continuous line. So this is the one way to visualize it. Another way is that simply you can observe this surface which was not visible previously in the front view from the top now because we need to draw it in the top view. Now the surfaces are clearly visible to you. So that means this dotted will never remain as a dotted. It will again convert into the continuous. So you can validate your visibility by two ways also. By taking the reference from the side view also or by taking the reference from the top view also. Now for the cone is standing vertically and it is been drilled by a hole. That means this portion which was not visible previously of the cone, now in this case it is visible. So this is the way in which the visibility concept differs if you consider it with a simple drilled hole and if you consider it with the help of or with the example of a penetration of a cylinder inside the